Why do I feel like I'm doing an exact repeat of what I did last night? I came out that door. Let's check to see if that white widow is still here. The wind was blowing like crazy. I have to sweep up around here. Yesterday I had this hanging out here because I use it to wash the car, and I brought it inside. And you've heard of black widow spiders, but there was a white widow spider in there. And I hung it up, and the white widow came around the edge, and all over the, oh, hi there. So I brought it out. I put it out there. I threw it out here. Let's see if that white widow is still out here. Sounds like a Billy Idol song. This day for a white widow. I don't see it. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'll check it more thoroughly. I'm going to try to look at the bags in my eyes. I was up late last night doing my lifting. I guess I would call it a heavy lifting. I wanted to tackle a question that I saw come up. And I'm sorry I haven't answered questions on... I have been doing a poor job of responding to questions and comments on my YouTube videos. It's just been one thing after another since it's you know what I feel like it's turned on. It's like being a sleeper cell in a country. Like I was a plant here, and then I was here for a year, and then when I found out the National Visa Center cleared my wife's visa, we were activated, and now I'm in action, and I'm doing all kinds of things, trying to work out things, and it's just been nonstop. And I'm making a lot of videos as well, which gathered comments, which I should respond to, but I haven't done it in a timely manner, and I apologize. So I wanted to tackle a challenging question. Someone left a comment, and I hate saying someone, I wish I could recall exactly who said it, asking point blank in one of the recent videos. They said, does Emily want to come to the United States? And it's a good question, and I was thinking I should try to respond to that. And so I want to say three things about that. First, I want to say preface this to say, knowing what Emily wants is a bit of a tricky thing. Maybe her mother has a better idea than I do. But for the most part, she's a teenager now, so she's a little less interested in sharing her thoughts and ideas with folks, especially her parents. And secondly, being the long distance, I haven't seen her for a year. I've got this filter, long range filter, like one of my Rush songs. So it's a little bit hard to do, but I think, and my wife and I, we talk about it, but we're relatively satisfied that she's okay. But for the most part, it hasn't been a deciding factor for a couple of reasons. Let me go over those reasons. So let me preface to say we do care. We do care whether Emily wants to come to. Of course we care. We're her parents. We want her to be happy. When I drove by, try that again. I started to say the name of her high school. When I drove by her high school, I saw the kids coming out for lunch, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm so desperately hope that she'll feel comfortable here, and especially seeing, she comes from a very conservative background, especially seeing the scantily clad outfits the girls were wearing. I was thinking, I hope she won't find that so alien and not know what to do in that. So I really do want her to come and be and fit in. I want her to be happy. So yes, preface with that. But okay, back on to the points. The first point is that we have a purpose in doing this for her. The first purpose is to demonstrate to her that you can upset your life. You can hit the reset button on life and survive. And we want to give her the experience of starting from scratch, which is an experience that both my wife and I have known and embraced many times in our lives. And whether she becomes a person who lives that type of lifestyle, that lives many lives over the course of a single life, or simply settles down to one thing and sticks with that, we want her to at least know have the experience of going through such a change and knowing that it can be survived. Now, what was that second point? That was the first point. Yes, I remember. That's what happens. If I stay up too late, it just wipes me out. So the first point was recapping what you just said, but I had to think about being able to understand the experience of building a new life from scratch. Let me just say a little more about that. My wife and daughter are basically going to do essentially what I did, which is come over with a single suitcase. Each of us are going to begin life in America with a suitcase and start from scratch. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't been buying any furniture or anything like that, is because I want them to appear. I want my wife and daughter to arrive to an empty home, and we are going to then spend the succeeding months and years building that life, building that house into a home. And Emily's going to play a part in that. She won't just be arriving into a place that's been made out for her. She will see an architecture of a foundation of empty rooms, and then she'll build her own room. Now, one of the nice things about the place that we're going to move into is they have model apartments, so you can go in and see the models and see how it's been professionally furnished and get some ideas from there. And I'm really hoping that experience will latch on for her, and she'll come to love the idea of building from scratch, the way that her mother and I so do dearly love it. Okay, the second reason that this is important that we bring her back is that we need to give her this part of her heritage. Emily is, as the Japanese say, hafu. She is a mixed race child with her genes from two gene pools, and her psyche and her mentality, her culture from two different cultures. And we want to give, in the course of, it's like a parent that wants to give their kid an education. We want her to give her both of those. That's why we set out on this plan in 2000. Started planning this in 2002, bringing it to fruition now in 2015. This long-term plan to give her, as I like to say, a Japanese heart and an American spirit, and the experience and the comfort and the of understanding both worlds. This is a theme that keeps coming up in my videos, and that's what we endeavor to give to her. So it's, in a way, it's an educational process. So I don't want to say that these 2 points are secondary to Emily's willingness or interest in coming over, but in a way, or that her, I don't want to say that her interest in coming over is secondary to those 2 points, but in a way it is. We're not asking her to do something that we're not putting her into a situation that's going to be intolerable. It's not like it's dangerous or impossible. It's going to be a very safe environment. She's going to be continue to have the bosom of home and family, and I believe that she will be all right. Will it be challenging? Sure. Will she miss some of her friends? Of course. Will she pine for some of the old familiar ways at times? I'm sure she will. But at the same time, will she be gaining an understanding that if she ever wants to in life, if she ever wants to start over, or simply embrace a new way of living, that it's possible? I hope so. Will she have a deeper understanding of both the worlds that can contribute to making who she is? I dearly hope so. So finally, now I'll leave you with one last thing, the third thing, which is that, like I said, it's hard for me. I don't get a lot of feedback from Emily about this type of stuff. She's a teenager and she's far away, and I haven't seen her for a long time. But she did recently. This is before we got our final word about the visa stuff. I did ask her point blank, when do you want to come to America? And she answered that for me, and I'm going to go ahead and take a screen capture from our little line interface, and you can see her response. And no, Emily is not blonde. She had one of her pop stars as her icon there. So you have a look at this, and hopefully that answers the question. And time for me to try to step out of it. Man, I am dead, but I've got some heavy lifting to do, so I got to get back to it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.